Hey, what up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. How will the Dodgers use Chris Taylor next year? We're going to talk about that in just a second. But quick reminder for all latest Dodgers news and rumors, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. Really helps out the channel. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comment section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day. On a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a re-signing was Chris Taylor? And 2, where do you think that he'll play the most next year? How do you think the Dodgers will and should use him in the 2022 season? Let me know down below. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So you've got to give it up for Chris Taylor. The paper chaser chased his paper, and he got it.
CT, yeah, paper chaser.
Before the lockout began, Chris Taylor signed a 4-year, $60 million deal with the Dodgers that includes a $12 million club option for the 5th year and a $4 million buyout. So Chris Taylor back with the Dodgers for at least the next 4 years, and I wasn't completely shocked when he signed for that amount, but I was a little surprised. When you consider that it felt like half the league was interested in Chris Taylor, there were so many teams out there that were rumored to be in on him. For him to sign for that amount, it was a great deal for the Dodgers. And I think for Chris Taylor, it was still a fair amount, but I think that there were offers out there that exceeded that $60 million mark. MLB trade rumors projected that he'd sign a 4-year, $64 million deal. I thought it'd be 4 years, $68 million. That was my prediction. Maybe even $70 million. Maybe a team would consider giving him 5 guaranteed years on that deal because he really boosted his stock in the 2021 season. Made his first All-Star team. He went off in the postseason. He turned October into Octaylor. Led the Dodgers with a 12.03 OPS, 4 home runs, 4 doubles in 11 games. So he put himself in a great position in his contract year to get a nice bag, and he did just that. He recently did an interview with AM 570's Dodger insider Dave Vassegh, and he talked about his free agency process, and he was asked if he had any doubts that he'd be playing with the Dodgers again, and if there was a moment in time where he thought he might be signing with another team. Well, here's what CT3 had to say. And then he was asked about how it felt to have the Dodgers want him back and the fact that they didn't shortchange him and they didn't take him for granted.
I always knew I wanted to stay with the Dodgers. It was just a matter of if they were willing to work with me or be competitive, I guess. And, obviously it was hard to see myself in anything but Dodger blue, and it meant a lot to me that they were willing to give me the offer they did, and I was really happy we were able to get something done.
And then he was asked about how it felt to have the Dodgers want him back so badly and the fact that they didn't shortchange him and take him for granted, and here was his response.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Definitely, like I said, it meant a lot to me, it says a lot, when they offer you that amount of money and that time frame, and it lets you know as a player that they value you. So, that meant more to me than anything, and being able to stay in Los Angeles, I've fallen in love with this city and the fans and the team and my teammates. So, it's a dream come true. Couldn't be happier.
Then Taylor talked about what it was like to be a coveted free agent by so many different teams and to have so many teams out there wanting to sign him.
It was a cool experience, because just being able to talk with other teams, and even though I wanted to stay with the Dodgers the whole time, you still have to weigh all your options and play out the different scenarios and seeing how other teams, what plans they have for me, and it was cool. But at the end of the day, like I said, there was only one team I was excited about talking about, and that was the Dodgers.
So look, 99.9% of the time in sports, it's all about the money. Well, in Chris Taylor's case, he did take less to sign with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Chris Taylor is top shelf. He's A1. He's a great dude. The man has still never done anything wrong in his entire life. Now, the question now is moving forward, how do the Dodgers use him in the 2022 season? Because we know he is the super utility man. That's what makes him such a valuable and unique player. Last year in the regular season and postseason combined, the human Swiss Army knife played 61 games in center field, 46 games at second base, 30 in left field, 23 at shortstop, 11 at third base, and 8 in right field. So, of course, he has that elite positional versatility, and when it comes to next season, you look at that outfield. You got Mookie Betts in right, Cody Bellinger in center, and A.J. Pollock in left. Well, we know Mookie Betts, he's the franchise player. If he's healthy, that's his position in right field. And then, of course, you have Cody Bellinger in center field, the former MVP. Hopefully, he has that bounce back year that we all hope for. But if he does struggle and he doesn't quite find it, I think you'll see Chris Taylor get some time in center field. And then there's left field. You have A.J. Pollock, another player who's older now, a guy that has had some injury issues in the past. If he goes down, Chris Taylor will get some time in left. And if you look at the infield, last season, Chris Taylor, 46 games at second base, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that they had to shift Gavin Lux over to shortstop after Corey Seager went down after breaking his hand. So will he play a lot at second base? I think that'll depend on a couple things. One, will the Dodgers trade Gavin Lux? That's very much a possibility. They might flip him for a starting pitcher, another impact bat. That's definitely going to be something the team will consider. And also, what if the Dodgers are able to sign Freddie Freeman? Then you shift Max Muncy over to second base, and that gives him significant time at that position. Now, when it comes to the shortstop spot, Trey Turner is going to shift over to shortstop. That's his position. That's where he's comfortable. If he stays healthy, that is where he's going to play. Now, if he needs a day off, Chris Taylor could play the position. We know that. And then you have third base. So third base, I think, is a position where Chris Taylor could get some more time next season, because Justin Turner, 37 years old, he can still get it done at the hot corner, but there's no doubt that he has lost a step at this stage of his career. And also, you want to preserve him. You want to keep him healthy for the postseason. You don't want to see him hurt his hamstring like we did last year and have him wearing a hoodie for the NLCS. We don't want to see that next season. So when the National League adopts the DH next year, which everyone expects to happen, I do anticipate Justin Turner getting a significant amount of reps at that DH spot. So if the Dodgers don't get another third baseman, will you see Chris Taylor get some significant time at third base? I definitely think that's a possibility. But we all know, if you followed this team for years, that Chris Taylor will find his way on the field. That is what he does. This man is a ball player. I call it Dodger blue collar, because that is what CT3 is. He brings his lunch pail. He comes to work and says, hey, where do you need me, boss? Where do you need me to fill in? I just want to get on the field and have an impact any way I can. He's got a great attitude. He's got great buy-in, and the guy just loves to ball. And I think he's going to do that next season one way or the other. And another thing to look forward to is if the Dodgers don't trade Gavin Lux, do they continue to put more tools in his toolbox? Do they continue to develop him in the outfield so he can play multiple positions out there at a competent level? He was so raw last year, but he does have the requisite athleticism to get it done. And to me, it's just about experience, and we'll see what he did in the offseason, what he can do during spring training. If they keep him, can they groom him to be that next super utility man? He definitely has the potential to be. And another name to look for, too, is Zach McKinstry. Z-Mac, Zachary the Attackery. We all heard that he was going to fill Kike Hernandez's shoes, or have the potential to do so. Well, last season, before he suffered that strained oblique that sent him to the IL towards the end of April, he was off to a really nice start. He was slashing .296, .328, .556 with 3 bombs and 14 RBIs. So we'll see what a fully healthy Zach McKinstry is capable next season. He has some experience now. He knows what he needs to work on. So hopefully he can turn around next year and be that utility man that we all hoped he would be last year. But one way or the other, CT3 is going to be on the field, and he's never done anything wrong in his entire life. But let me know down below in the comment section, on a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a re-signing was Chris Taylor? Let me know down below. And also, where do you want to see him play most next year? How do you think the Dodgers will use Chris Taylor in 2022? Let me know down below. For me, I'd give it an 8. I really do think that's an 8 for Chris Taylor. As if you look at the role, you could give it a 10 if you look for that role specifically. But I think for this team in general, he was essential to their success in 2022. Such a unique player. He can do so many things on the diamond, and you just love to have him in your dugout. But let me know down below in the comments section. My name is D-Mac. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For all things Dodger baseball, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.